Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Sammy here at Sammy J Stitches, and it is time for a new Flosstube week. We are trying new things to try and work with that light. So you may see a little bit of a blue glow right here. It's okay. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Okay. Today is Sunday, October 3rd. I wasn't here yesterday, as I told you I was going to be out of town. But luckily we're at a facility again this week, so doing this is much, much easier. All right, so I have tons to show you all this week. It was such a productive week. It really makes a big difference when I'm in the facilities versus the truck, because I can get more stitching time. Like I've seen 26 people tonight. Probably like 22 of those were before 8 o'clock. So after it slows down, I pick up my stitching and I just away. It also helps that I have this goal of getting to 1,000 stitches on all my projects by the end of the year. So now I pull one out and I focus on it until I get 3, 4, 5, whatever 100 stitches I need in order to hit that 1,000 goal, and then I move on. And I'm enjoying getting through projects. So sorry about the train. I can't really help that. So where were we? Train aside, truck driver aside. Okay, so I got really good progress. I have lots to show you this week, and I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to be hitting my goals, to be touching all my whips. Does make it a little difficult though, because I was like, okay, if I'm in the facility again this week, I'm going to go back to doing at least a few challenges. And but a lot of my whips don't have anything on them, because like the focus for Daily 30 this month is animals. I don't have very many with animals left that I haven't touched yet. So we'll do what we can. As of these whips though, the only challenges they were meeting were stuff in Stitching Dead and Stitching on Trail. So you don't have to have a specific whip. It's just about the number of stitches. So, let's see. I gotta go back to September in my book. All right. Okay, so I guess I showed y'all Leaves of Change because I don't have it here with me. I know that I put some more stitches in after I showed y'all, so I had planned to have it to show you, and then I forgot about that and I put it up. So, but I just put in about 200 more stitches after we talked. So the next thing I pulled out was House Targaryen, because I was having to finish up my zombie run for September. And so on Monday, September 27th, I pulled out House Targaryen and threw in 400 stitches. So here is where it is at. Now this is a zombie run piece, so it is not necessarily needing to hit a goal. It's already well hit its 1,000 stitches. We're just continuing to switch. I did go back, not this time, but the last time, and I fixed this flower. So we're just working our way down over here. So that's where we're at. Again, I think I mostly worked in the wing this time. So it's looking good. So I'll probably be pulling this out again some point this week. Maybe even tonight. We'll see. Because Zombie Run. I gotta put Zombie Run back in it. We'll get to that when I get to plans. So, where are we gonna stick these? Let's stick them over here. All right, so the next thing I pulled out was Eat, Sleep, Stitch, Repeat. I needed less than that. Where's my other book? Oh, right here in front of me. Is it in here? Yes, I needed 472 stitches for this one to hit its 1,000 stitch goal. Here is what it's supposed to look like. It's by Lori Holt, BMI Bonnet Designs, or Fat Quarter Shop here on Flosstube. So I'm going to tell y'all, warning, if you are easily triggered by the fact that somebody will leave very few stitches and not just go ahead and finish it, trigger warning. Just saying. Jessie, you might want to plug your ears for a minute. So, I needed 472 stitches on this in order to hit my goal. I think I needed a few more than that for whatever I was working on that day, because I think I actually put in sleep stitch. It says I put in 560. That seems weird to me. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure how that happened. But anyways, so it needed 472. I put in whatever I put in to finish whatever I was working on. Like I said, my notes say 560, but that seems extreme. 3, 5, yeah, that's what I did. Anyway, do y'all notice anything? Yeah. So I just need 6 stitches right here to finish this project. And am I going to put those in? Not yet. Not yet. If y'all are not aware, I do an event every December called Finish That Stitch December. It started 2 years ago. I saw that I had several projects with more stitches than this, but kind of close to a finish, and I didn't want to pick them up because there wasn't enough stitches in to complete a challenge, or I just didn't feel like working on it. I didn't want to finish the project because sometimes you get that way with like, we're this close and we won't be able to work on it anymore. There's lots of reasons not to actually finish a project. So I said, you know what? I have a ton of these. I need to get through them. Back then I had a lot of smalls. I really don't have that many these days. I said, let me go ahead and I'm going to finish it. Finish that stitch. Originally when I said it, it was not so PG. So you kind of get, finish that. And, so my original idea was to take whatever width was closest to a finish, like 6 stitches away. It would be the first one I pull out on December 1st. Cause I also do like the Vlogmas and all that stuff. So, I would pull it out on the 1st. I would finish it. Then I would go to whatever one has the next fewest stitches left, and then I would finish it. And I would do this through December. And ideally, that year I had a lot that were pretty close to a finish. So I would finish 1 to 2 every day. I would get through them all. And then I would start working on a bid group project that I wasn't necessarily going to finish by the end of the year, but that I could make good progress on. So, and that's almost like being monogamous for me, because I'm used to changing whips every day. And there was some that I knew were going to take me 2 or 3 days to finish, and I was going to stick to them until I did. Then I had a friend here on Flosstube, and I'm so sorry I can't remember your name right now, because we discussed this at length. She was doing like an advent calendar. So she, with her whips, so she was taking the whips and she was going to draw one each day and work on it. And I was like, hey, that's a cool idea. So I took all of my whips. I had 25, because, you know, the countdown to Christmas. I had 25 whips that were close enough to a finish, and I put them in bags, and I labeled each, and then I shuffled all of them, and then I labeled each one with a number, and that's the day I would pull that out. And I didn't know what was in it, but I would pull it out, I would finish it. Next day, draw one. If I did not finish it in a day, because there was a few, like I said, that would take 2 to 3 days, then on the following day I would work on the one for that day and then go back to the one that I hadn't completed. I did get all of the 25 complete in that December, plus a couple extras that I got, you know, in those last few days before the first of the year. So, I thought that was really cool, but last year I was not going to have enough finishes to supply the entire 25 days, but I wanted to do the Advent thing again. So half of them were finishes and half of them were new starts. Because I knew I was going into a year of no new starts this year. And so there's something going on. I hear sirens. So that Advent situation was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it. But that is not on my agenda this year. This year, I'm going back to my original idea of fewest stitches to get it done and get it knocked out. And I honestly think I probably have about 14 that I can finish up with little to no effort. And then I have about 3 more that if I can get a few really good stitching days on, could probably get finished. And I'm going to start putting those in some semblance of an order soon. But needless to say, this will be December 1st's quickest finish ever, 6 stitches. So, eat, sleep, stitch, repeat. Almost done. Not quite, but it's hit its 1,000 stitch goal for the year. So it can very easily go away till December, no problem. Okay, so what would be really cool is I have 22 left on my list. No, I have 21 left on my list. With one of them, I will let's just go with it. I have 21 left on my list. There are 28 more days, 29 more days, 28, something like that, in October. There's no reason I can't get through this list by the end of the month. That is my goal. I'm going to try and finish this by the end of the month. If I can do that, then November, we'll be going through these whips again. Just they'll be getting more stitches than just their 1,000. And I'm not sure how I will pick them. Maybe I'll go back to letting challenges pick my whips. I'm not sure. But I think I can get through this in October. So that's my idea. And then December, of course, we'll be doing the finishing thing. So that's that. So I skipped ahead to plans a little bit. Oh well. Anyway. Okay, so that goes with that. Next, I worked on this. Okay, this project needed 50 stitches. 50 to hit its 1,000 goal for the year. Because I had worked on it really well earlier this year. This is Life's an Open Book Paris. Artwork by Amy Stewart. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's so pretty. It really, really reminds me of my trip to Paris. Oh my gosh. I think in order of priority, Mini Phantom Masquerade is my oldest Hade and therefore is taking priority right now. So once it's done, then Mini Alice and a Dolly Dream, because it's not for me. And then this one, because it was such an iconic vacation. I absolutely loved it. So it only needed 50 stitches. I was like, I'm not just going to do half a block. That's not going to happen. And the block, as you can see, was pretty full coverage. Or like mostly one color. There's only a few colors in there. So I was like, let's just knock the entire block out. So 1,050 stitches in this project this year. And I think I only had like 100 from the year before. So it's not a lot, but it's progress. We're working on it. It's going to be a big one. So there's that too. All right. Next, we have, do I not have the picture in here? I'm not doing so good with keeping the pictures around. Sorry. My relief. Okay, so the next one that I have, let's go down here. Now my ear itches. Was Autumn from the Cricket Collection. So this one I can fold in half at least. And I finished up the pumpkin. I had most of him, but we had to finish him up. Finished up the hat. Finished up this side of the U. And then I started coming over here and working on the T. So I needed 545 stitches to hit its 1,000. And I got, where'd I put it? Where'd I put my list? Around here somewhere. 553. I need how much? 45? Yeah, so I just barely went over, but hey, it's something. And this is on Vintage Country Mocha, I think. I'm not sure. The tag's not here. It's one of those where, like, there's modeling or striping on this side, but there's not on this side. So, yeah. That is Autumn. I don't remember how I had this folded. Boom. Okay. That one, I had to take off the Q-snap for something for later. Because what I was trying to do was keep them all on the Q-snaps. And then after this video, I would take them off and switch them out and get the next week's ones prepped. But I ended up needing one of them sooner. I'll explain why in a few. So the next thing I pulled out was Mini Alice in a Dolly Dream. This is one I kind of wish I had worked on this week because it fits with so many of the daily 30 prompts. So, but it is what it is. It's fine. So this copy is, my printer was doing something funky, so it doesn't look that horrible, I promise. This is from Jasmine Brett. This is art by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is one I'm stitching for someone else. So here's where we're at. Where the lighting is, it's just, it's horrible. So we're over here. We're almost done with page 3. And then we'll come back to the top and work this page up here, which is actually page 3, but it'll be the 4th page I work on. So you see that clock? The one behind her, this one. There you go. I'm starting to get a little into her shoulder pad there, right here. So it's so gorgeous. It's really stitching up nicely. I needed 500 in that one, and I got the 500. Exactly. Okay. Next, I decided to pull out Ew People. This one was the one that needed the most stitches out of all of them in order to complete. It needed like 800 and something stitches. No, I'm not leaving it with just 6 stitches. It needed 829 stitches. Something fell. Needle. Okay. It needed the most out of any of the ones I needed to go back and touch and hit 1,000 by the end of the year. So, we worked on it. And luckily it's some block stitching, so it went fairly quickly. And it is so adorable. So, I have to come back and like add a star over here and maybe like one up here. But for the most part, I am down in here. So we got to finish up the hair, work on the tail, the little feet, and then the word Ew People are going to go right down there. So it is so cute. Oh my goodness. Lexi's going to be so excited. And it goes so well on this fabric. Love it. This is a 32 count Hecate linen. The linen has a much more vibrant color. or, you know, it's nice. 28 count linen and Hecate from Undersea Fabrics. So. Okay. Let me go with that. And then, that's for something else. So that got me through my work days. Those 1, 2, 3, well, and leaves of change, which you already saw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 projects that I hit my goal on, that I knocked out while I was here at work. And then, did she message me back? Sorry, that distracted me. Okay. So, my first day off was Thursday, September 30th, which, so September 30th was my grandmother's birthday. She passed back in March. It was the natural progression of life and the way she lived it. She was living with me at the time. It was rough. It was real rough for me, y'all. And there are several ways where I'm still trying to cope with it. And as y'all know, this was one of the ways. I got a little memorial tattoo. It's looking gorgeous. All those colors are settling in nicely. She loved hummingbirds. She loved the color yellow. These were some of the, just a few of the things I really, really remember about her. And so, they're the most significant things, I guess, that stand out to me. And I know that's kind of odd, but they just are. So, that and snowmen. She loves snowmen. So I decided I was going to break my no new starts for 2021 in order to stitch a memorial piece for her. And I don't mean memorial as in like it's going to have her name or anything like that on it. It's just something that makes me think of her, symbolizes her. I'm going to hang it up in my house, and every time I look at it, I will fondly remember. Okay? So, I bought a few months ago. As soon as I saw it, I knew this is what I was going to do, when I was going to do it, etc., etc., etc. So, oh my goodness. My phone, busy. Okay, this is Hummingbirds from Owl Forest Embroidery. I saw that and I was like, she loves hummingbirds. I love hummingbirds. I'm going to stitch all the hummingbirds. So, the other thing was, she loves yellow. And so I chose 32 count Jobelin in Amaryllis from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's a gorgeous, sorry, now all of a sudden I have hiccups. What the heck? Gorgeous, soft yellow. It's coming out a little bit brighter than it needs to be. Anyways, you'll see in a minute. So that's how I incorporated the yellow. I also decided that I wanted to do specialty flosses. If you look at, where is the picture? The picture kind of closely, you'll notice like there's some variegation in here. And I looked and I said, okay, do they have two colors charted? No, there's only one color charted for it. You can see the green transition, and they have it charted in some sort of flosses. Not ones you can readily buy. I think you have to order it through them, or at least part of them. I was actually on Virtual Stitchers just the other day with a lady that lives in New Zealand, and I think her name was Caitlin. And she bought the floss pack for this, and it's gorgeous and probably highly worth it. However, I wanted to start it, and I have tons of specialty floss. So I said, I'm just going to sub it out. And she does give you a DMC conversion. I could have pulled those and then found something to relate. But really, I just looked at this picture. I looked at, like, the symbols on the chart, and I said, what's going to work? And I don't know that all these colors are going to work, but that's why I was trying to stitch as much of the chart, as much of the different colors in the chart as I could when I worked on it the other day. You'll see that in a minute. So here's what we ended up with, and I need to write these down. We have, for the blue, you're going to see here, this color is very limited. It is the beak, whatever, and the eyeball on, and the little bit of tail down here on these. I don't think it was anywhere else in the chart. Beak on this one, maybe the tail on that one, I'm not sure. But for them, it's very limited. I use this blue, and it is Santa Cruz from Weeks Dye Works, and it's a blue. It's really pretty. The other color that you're going to see on here, in here, it's probably the most prominent, which was, yeah, it really shows up kind of a turquoise. So I chose Isla Morada, something like that, like a turquoisey color. And so these two actually, I think, paired together rather well. Okay, so this is kind of a story time. For like the underside of the wings, the belly, I wanted to do white. I didn't want to do just white because on the yellow, I don't think it would stand out. And to me, I don't know. I just didn't want to do a plain white. So we did toasted marshmallow so that it has like a peachy hint to it. Very slight. And I think will complement these colors well. For those colors, so in this flower, we have Victorian Motto Samplers Bouquet. So it's a pretty golden peachy color. For like this egg basket here and this basket here, we have the Gentle Arts Pecan Pie. I think that's about all the places it's in. And the colors you're probably going to see the most. So this purple, I actually haven't gotten to yet, so I'm not sure how I'm going to like the color, and it may get subbed out at some point. But we've got Blackberry from Weeks Dye Works. So it's got some purple in there, some pink. Which, I mean, this does too, if you see some purple and some pink. Maybe not quite this vibrant, but it'll work. I feel like I kind of picked up upgraded the vibrancy on some of the colors. If you could tell by how bright the blue and the green are, the purple is. And then this is the pink that you'll see like here and here and here. And I'm using Romance from Weeks Dye Works. So it's tone on tone pink, kind of a darker pink to a brighter pink. And it is fairly close to Blackberry. They do have, I think, a similar pink in there, but it's different too. It's fine. And then most of what you see on here is green, right? So we have two different greens. So if you look here in the leaves, you see it's kind of a darker green, almost like a hunter green. I went really dark with this one, and I went with hunter. Go figure. So there's that. And then for like down here, up here, this vine, it's a brighter green, and I went with Paris green. It's super bright, but you can see the variegation in it. I think it's going to just turn out so well. So, y'all ready? Oh, and it's in my Hummingbird bag from Stitch and Button, Victoria Gable. She's Stitch and Button on Flosstube, and on Facebook, where she sells bags. So, it was perfect. Okay, I'm going to put these back in there so I don't lose them. But I do need to write them down so I don't forget. And here is the progress I need. So I did a center start so that I could start immediately on a hummingbird. My first stitch was in this hummingbird's beak because technically this petal is the... Oh, that scared me. Technically this petal is the first stitch, but I just counted over and I started with the hummingbird. And so you could see the turquoise did this nice little variegation in here. You got the blue along the edge. I feel like they went together well. Almost like they could have been one strand. I really like the way it turned out. Then I worked my way all the way over to the other edge. So these are the two edges of the pattern. If you look. So we've got this leaf is here. And this hummingbird is here. So we went kind of all the way across. And then I started to go down simply because I was trying to get all the colors, right? So we've got the dark green, we've got the light green, we've got the pink, the peach, the turquoise, the blue. I don't have any of the toasted marshmallow or the brown yet. Those two I really wasn't worried about. I was worried about the purple. So the next place I have to go is to put this purple in right here. Then I went to bed before I got there. So, but I love the way it's turning out. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I can't wait to work on it again. This is probably going to stay on a Q-snap, and we're going to work on it a bit. Speaking of, the new start is why I needed an available Q-snap, because with all of them in use, so I took it off Autumn and I put it on Hummingbird by Alforce Embroidery. Okay. All right. And so I let myself, so I started that on my grandma's birthday. I made a meal that she taught me how to make, and I just kind of like memorialized the day and made it something special. And then the next night when I sat down to stitch, I was like, okay, we're going to go back to our routine, what we need. And it was the 1st of October. I asked my husband, I said, okay, do I start on Zombie Run because I've already worked on these pieces, but I've got to work on them every month? Or do I pull a piece that we can go ahead and knock out the 1,000 stitch goal on? And he was like, okay, so what is Zombie Run? And so I went through it with him, and he's like, okay, that. I said, okay, so I finished Anzac last month, so I had to replace that with a new piece, a new whip. And I chose Shores of Hawk Run Hollow because I am stitching it for somebody. So I said, I really need to get to working on that. And this one has a little bit of story time too. So I said, I subbed this one in and it hasn't hit its 1,000 stitch goal yet. So if I go ahead and work on it first, even if I just do the Zombie Run, I would have gotten myself closer to the 1,000 stitch goal, knowing that I would finish it at the beginning of next month. If not before then, because there's a chance. I'm just saying at the latest, I would hit the 1,000 stitch goal at the beginning of November. So I was like, hey, 2 for 1, working on that 1,000 stitch goal, plus it's a Zombie Run piece. And Casey's like, why didn't you just say that to begin with? I didn't realize until I looked at my Zombie Run pieces. And so I did not get, it needed 600. I needed 600 stitches. Really? It needed 599 stitches in order to hit its 1,000 stitch goal. I think I might have gotten like 500 put in it. I did the 400. I posted the picture for Zombie Run. I did continue to work on it. I was like, I'll go ahead and just do 2 Zombie Runs on it. But then I got tired and went to bed. So I got like 500 and something stitches on it. and I may pull it out again later this month at some point. But we've got some other goals we're trying to hit first, right? So, this is this one. Okay, so I modified this. I took this middle block and I moved it over. Got rid of this block and just slid this over so that we're looking at like a square. And then, so I'm doing this one, then the big one. And then for this one, I'm actually doing this part. So I move this up here, move this over, and I'm going to be doing a square. I have finished this one. We're working on this, and then I will work on this. Now, this block says, in memory of Lieutenant Jacob Pomeroy, anchored in the haven of rest, May 7th, 1745. I'm making this as a memorial piece for my husband's grandfather. He passed in October of 2018. So I had to play with the chart. It doesn't give you, like, obviously not everybody cares about Lieutenant Jacob Pomeroy. I don't even know who that is. So I don't know why I would stitch his name, but they don't give you the alphabet to be able to, like, change it up. So I had to kind of wing it. And I think I did okay. I started out at the bottom. So I've got anchored in the haven of rest, October 27th, 2018, because that's when he passed. And then I really need to find out his rank. And then I'll put his name next to it. And I'll say, in memory of. And so this is the memorial block for it. You can see where I finished the first one. Do that and then come down here and do the ship. He was in the Navy. So I felt like this piece was just super perfect. One second. It was just perfect in so many ways. I even like that the bigger block, where is it? The bigger block has the knit anchor, you know, because that's like very symbolic of Navy. And it also says, I will wait for thee. So it's almost like his daughter, or him waiting for his daughter to join him, because I'm making it for her. So I don't know, I just really like it. And lighthouses are her favorite. Just I think it's gonna be excellent. So perfect. So yeah, a lot of I did all this, all the font, that everything that's in black right here is new. I filled in some of this, and then a little bit around this edge of it too. So, and we were working our way through these little things. So, super excited about that. And I'm excited that it will be coming out again soon, because I want to make some progress on it. Because I'm doing it for a reason. Okay. So then, that was it. That was it for last week. Yay. That was really good progress. Like, I worked on, what, 7, 8, 9 pieces. I got good stitching, knocked out a few goals. I can kind of show you. Once I got to, I think this is 20 or 21 whips, I listed them out so I could just see quickly, instead of having to math, what the goals on each of them were. My lowest one is still 39. I need 39 stitches on one of my Britter Cup pieces. And then my largest now, since we knocked out Ill People, is January Wordplay at 695. So, it is not in my bucket of whips for this last week. I don't know if it will be for next week. I randomly pulled them. I only have 2 with me today, 1 or 2, to swap out with some of these, and then I'll have to grab a couple more at home. Tonight, I will go ahead and show you what I was working on, because I hit the 1,000 stitch goal on it, and I'm going to be switching to something, well, to a zombie run piece, probably House Targaryen, since it's already pulled out, and the monochromatic will go pretty quickly, as I have like 2 hours till I have to go home. So tonight I pulled out this one. Don't fall. Raccoon Rabble. it was the next one in the bucket. We already worked on Tired Trio, remember, earlier, or last month. So, we were working on here. Bum, bum, bum. Raccoon rebel. And it's got a little pumpkin, so how appropriate, right? He is sitting on a pumpkin. It's got a bee on it. Ooh, I can count this one for insect. I was going to use Shangri-La for insect because it's a butterfly, but I bet I could use a bee. Yeah. So, there are my little raccoons. It's so cute. We're just working our way down. So, I needed 361 stitches. I got to that and then I wanted to finish out a strand. So, I'm just over 400 stitches on it and ready to move on. So, yay. Got both of those done. Knocked out. Let me just stick this in here before I put it over there. I have a box that I've been like keeping them in so that I remember what I need to talk to y'all about, what I need to show y'all. I kind of wanted to show y'all some haul, but the haul that I had for this week was part of an unboxing video that I made live on my channel yesterday. So, if you're interested in my recent haul, it was an unboxing of Autumn Equinox box from Bestitch Me. Bestitch Me is a fabric dyer and floss dyer, but I buy fabrics from them. The box was amazing, y'all. I was so excited. Came with 3 pieces of fabric and all kinds of little goodies, all with autumn colors. Just made my heart so happy, and I loved it, and you should totally check out that video if you haven't seen it. So I do not have any haul to show you. I'm expecting some probably today, but that's next week's video. So what else? Plans. There was something I was going to tell you with plans. And then I ended up talking plans the entire time instead of saving it for... I think I was going to talk to you about the whole... like switching out between Zombie Run and hitting these goals. So I more or less already discussed it. Okay, why don't we look at numbers? Because I did do that today. I was going to film this way earlier and actually have sunlight, but then Vicky needed to talk to me, so I jumped on Zoom with her, and I was waiting for my tablet to come up so I knew how many stitches I did on Hummingbirds. By the way, Hummingbirds is a PDF from Owl Forest Embroidery. It does work in Pattern Keeper. I had to input the DMC colors myself. Not a big deal. I don't know if it would use something other than DMC. I didn't worry about it because I could translate into what I picked. It's fine. I did 656 stitches on it on Graham's birthday, and that's 10% done. That's kind of what's nice about Pattern Keeper is it told me there are 6,000 stitches in that thing. So that was cool. I was really excited about that. I want to share that. Okay, so for September, I didn't look at how many things I worked on. We'll count. It's okay. For September, I did a total of 12,225 stitches. That is my 3rd best month all year. Considering I spent the first half of it in a truck and still managed to do that good. 1, says a lot for how much I can get done here. And 2, it just makes me feel good. If you average the 30 days in September with that 12,225, you get 407 stitches a day. There were plenty of days I did not get 400 stitches. So like the few days at the end of the month really picked it up. If you average out just the days I actually stitched, which I stitched 29 out of 30 days in September. There was only 1 day that I missed completely. Now, some days only had like 50 stitches, but I stitched almost every day. So if you average that out, it's 420 stitches per day, which I think is pretty good. It's my best month when it comes to amount of days stitched. August, I missed 3 days. But all the other months I missed quite a few days. So my best month was June at 16,756, and I only missed 2 days that month, 3 days that month. Two days that month. So at 1 it is my best month, but yeah. I had 2 finishes in September. I had Needleworker and Anzac, both pretty significant little projects. So that was very, very exciting. I worked on a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 projects total in September. So that's pretty good too. Yeah. So those are my numbers. Very, very exciting. I'm at, I believe, 39 out of 59 on, or well now 40 out of 59 on, that doesn't sound right. Yeah. No, it doesn't sound right. Anyway, towards my 1,000 stitch goal on everything. So that is it for me this week. We talked much better this time. I had a lot more to talk about. It feels really good. Oh, my week. Okay, so I work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That was nice. It's been a while since I've worked 4 days. They were all in the facility, so lots of stitching. Then Thursday was my first day off. And it was Graham's birthday. Made enchiladas, sat around and stitched, watched Survivor. Just kind of chill, real chill. Friday, I think was also pretty chill. I did some cleaning, did some stitching. Not a whole lot went on Friday, I don't think. But I was really gearing up for Saturday. So Saturday, we woke up bright and early, 7:30 in the morning, and drove to San Antonio. It's 4 hours from my house. And I took the kids to Fright Fest at Six Flags. And it was so much fun. So the park opened at noon. We were there at 11:45. We just got in and I was like, okay, let's make a plan. You each get to pick 2 rides that we have to ride today. Because sometimes lines are really long and you can't ride everything. I said, so what are our top priorities? What are we doing first? And then if we can do the others, we'll go to them. But what do we have to ride? Because we've been there a few times. The kids have ridden all of them before, but you know, priorities. So they each picked 2. We got there and man, lines were not bad at all. We were waiting 1 or 2 rounds of, you know, the ride going before we could get on. We rode almost everything. We didn't ride Wonder Woman's Golden Whip because we just never got over there. We didn't ride Poltergeist because it kept messing up. We didn't ride the swings because they messed up, and that freaked me out. We were, you know how they do the test runs before they let you get on it, and one of the test runs, it got stuck again, and I was like, no, I'm not going to be up, no. But we rode all the other major rides. Superman, Batman, let's see, Iron Rattler, Die Bomber Alley, Gully Washer, just like all the good ones. Then at 6 o'clock is when Fright Fest starts. They call it the Awakening. It's when all the characters and monsters come out to play. They have these big, fog machines all over the park, but mainly in like the scare zones. And I mean, it pumps out a lot of fog. If there was times where Ryan was like right in front of me, I could reach out and touch him, but I could not see him. And then they'll have like one section, the lights were all green, so it made all the fog green. Sometimes it was orange, whatever to make it look a little spooky. But it was mainly that you couldn't see, and then all of a sudden a zombie would pop out at you. Or they had this one monster where it looked like a part of a crab was crawling out of his face. It was creepy and fun. Clowns. There were clowns everywhere. Not the happy clowns, more the creepy clowns. It was a lot of fun. They had 5 premium haunted houses. We went to 4 of them. One of them we had kind of experienced earlier in the year around Mardi Gras. I'm sure it would have been spookier this time, but the kids were just like, we're good with the 4 that we went to. The first one was clowns in 3D. So you had your 3D glasses. You couldn't see unless you had this flashlight, little black light flashlight. It was so intense. That was my favorite. My favorite all day. Then, let's see, the second one was zombie. It was like set up like a high school, but zombies were everywhere. Then there was slaughterhouse. So it was like, you know, where they kill pigs and stuff like that. And there was dead people and body parts everywhere. And then the last one was called Buried Alive, and it was like a coal mine that it had caved in and killed a bunch of people. So it was just really interesting. There was 2 mazes. One was called Fear Acres, and the other one was Hell Cemetery that we went through. It was so much fun, and they had specialty food, so pumpkin spice funnel cake. I'm trying to think what else. I know we got some Fanta Fizz drink that had like candy corn syrup in it, and sprinkles and stuff like that. So we ate food and we rode rides and we got scared, and I screamed so much I wasn't sure I was going to be able to talk today. My legs are killing me. 11 hours of walking around the park and standing in lines and riding rides. And there was one ride, the Batman, that I don't know why, but I felt the need to like clench my legs up against the ride because my legs were dangling, and I like clenched them up. Oh, my legs were so sore by the time I got off of it. So, and then they had a beautiful fireworks show. It was fireworks. It was a show though. It wasn't just fireworks. So they would put on a song from some horror movie, or not necessarily horror, but scary movie. And they had dancers down in the front that had these lights going, and they would dance and sing. And then behind them was this fountain that would do different colors and different like shapes and designs. And then behind there is the canyon wall that had like a laser show going on. And then above it, the fireworks would go off, and they were all coordinated to like work together it was intense, and it was so much. And the first song was Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas. And then Lexi was like, I need to go watch Nightmare Before Christmas. The second one, was Ghostbusters. Who are you gonna call? And then there was another song that I didn't really recognize, but it was more instrumental than like singing. And I think Lexi told me it was from... She told me what movie it was from, and I cannot remember. Anyway, and we thought when the fireworks went off during that one that it was probably the grand finale. No, it wasn't. It was like they were just like getting more and more each time. The fourth song was from Hocus Pocus. Hey. Okay, sorry. I had to talk to him. He's doing my job. When I'm in the truck. He took the spot when I came here. I don't know how that's going to be once the guy that works here comes back. If I'm going to go back to the truck or what. I don't know. We'll see. So, what was I talking about? The fourth song was Hocus Pocus. It was kind of like a medley of a few songs they sing during the movie. And then the last one was Time Warp from Rocky Horror Picture Show, right? I don't know. I don't think I've ever actually seen it. Or I've seen bits and pieces. Anyway, pretty sure that's what it's from. And it was really great. And then we got out of there, and the parking lot was horrible. It took us an hour to get out of the parking lot. Just everybody there was lots of people trying to do things the way you're supposed to, and lots of people just driving wherever, trying to like shove themselves in to get out faster, which only made traffic worse and slower. Like, People not using their brains. And then I had a 4-hour drive home. And it was actually longer than that because I stopped in every single town along the way to get out, walk around, like splash water on my face, wake myself up so I could make it to the next town. Which there's not a lot in between San Antonio and where I live. Their towns are about 30 to 40 minutes apart. Until there's one less town before home, and it's about an hour and 15 minutes from my house. So I was like, oh goodness, how am I going to make it through this last hour? I'm so tired. I called my husband and then we talked the whole way. So that helped. It's so nice that he's a night shifter and I could call him at 3 a.m. and be like, hey, talk to me. Plus I had to fill him in on all the stuff because just Lexi does not scream on rides. She really enjoys them. And she laughs at me because I scream like crazy. I look like an idiot, but it's how I deal with the buildup of anxiety from the fear. Because heights terrify me. And so I scream. That's how I deal with it. She gets a good laugh out of that. But she was screaming every time we turned around at the haunted houses. And it was really funny because Ryan, he was in front. It was him, then me, then Lexi, because I wanted to be able to hold both of them. And Lexi was holding on to me, and Ryan would creep up and then peek around a corner. Nope, nothing's gonna jump out at me. Peek and get scared because they would still jump out at him. It was hilarious. It was so much fun. So I was telling my husband all about it. So that is my week in a nutshell. Got home at 4:30 this morning, went straight to bed. Woke up a couple times during the day today, but then didn't actually get up until 2:30 to take a shower and come to work. So, yes, I'm so happy. And my heart is so full. I love getting to stitch more and still working enough to provide for the family and getting to go to Fright Fest with the kids. Why does my hand feel bruised? I have retreat coming up in just over a week. It's 9 days away. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see my stitchy buddies. And I still got to figure out what I'm taking with me. Right? Okay. I'm gonna let y'all go so I can get this video uploading while I switch out all these whips and probably pull out House Targaryen and start stitching for the next 2 hours. About 2 hours till my relief gets here. She may be early, but she's seen my crazy, so I don't have to make sure it's packed up before she gets here. All right, y'all. If you're new here, welcome. I hope there was something in this long, talking a little too much video that you enjoyed. I do try and keep the life stuff till at the end, although when it relates to my whip as much as the Hummingbird one did, you get it when you get it. So I hope you found something that you like and keeps you coming back for more. If you're returning, thank you, despite the crazy that you keep coming back. And thank you for all that you do, the likes, comments, when you watch, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all the ways that you show you love me. And I will see y'all next week.